Welcome back to What the Fumble. Adam here, still playing as just Lenara, but at least my broken characters are level 3 now. Last week was an emotional roller coaster. We got some Tess backstory that really choked me up, and I can't wait to see what happens next. Get it? Van Richten has been having some terrible nightmares, and I doubt there's a good therapist in the domains of dread, looking at you, Heinz Froth. At least he wasn't dreaming that he was late for a test, wearing only his underwear, and all his teeth were falling out. Or is that just me? Anyway, we're about to make all of your dreams come true on episode 23 of What the Fumble. I ink, therefore I am.
Level 3, boys. Level 3.
We made it.
Oh, we did it. Specializations, new class
All
features.
kinds of stuff.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Look at the confidence in this room. Oh, it's a beautiful thing.
Oh, I can't wait for it to be shattered.
More hit
Beautiful
points.
thing.
We're invincible.
Just wait until we get rid of all this stress, and then I swear we'll
Yeah, that's
we'll actually do something.
Someday.
gonna happen.
Someday. Miles, what, anything worth mentioning? Anything cool?
I mean, a lot of stuff on brand, actually. Slash is now a College of Eloquence from Tasha's, for those of you wondering, which sort of goes with this character of being very good with his words.
The wordy one.
Yeah, the wordy one. Basically, he's got something called Unsettling Words, which I can expend a Bardic Inspo and effectively cast Bane on people until the end of their next turn, using my Bardic Inspo die as the modifier for what they negative on their saving throw, which is awesome.
You throw people off with your words.
Yep, sounds about right.
Dig it.
So what's new?
Yeah, what's new? And then the other thing as well is that I basically got something called Silver Tongue. I like how Colin, on our way up here, affectionately called it the Forked Tongue, in which I basically get reliable talent on persuasion and deception checks.
Makes sense too. It fits the bill. Fits the bill.
Sure does.
Sob's fighter goes nuts at level 3, doesn't it? You got like superiority stuff.
Yeah, I
Got all
went.
kinds of shit going on, I think,
know.
right?
Yeah, he's Merlin's a battle master now.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
nice.
is our hero.
That's right. So he gets a bunch of stuff, like you said, superiority die and a whole host of new attacks.
I can't wait to find out what they are.
Is there one specifically for decapitation? Because you seem to be pretty good at that already.
There really should be. We should homebrew a decapitation one for Merlin. Keep getting that quota in. What does Monk look like at level 3? What do you get? You get to start throwing arrows back at me?
Yeah, I totally do. And that's going to come up. Yeah, but I've also taken my tutelage at the asylum to heart, and I've decided to follow the way of mercy.
Oh, very nice.
Just our
Very
brushes
nice.
with life and death sort of makes a lot of sense there.
I
You
think
really
so.
liked that boat we came in on, eh?
Yeah, no. I thought we were going to steal it, so I sort of no. Hopefully my way is the only mercy we come across.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
We'll find out. Lustra, what its ranger kind of look like.
Well, I decided to go for Horizon Walker because I don't think I've seen anyone ever play that before.
Very
and
cool.
I basically have force damage on tap at the cost of a bonus action.
Yeah.
And I can detect portals and stuff.
Oh, cool.
Detect
And I have
portals and stuff.
and I always have protection from evil and good prepared.
Oh, sick.
Oh, that's pretty cool too.
Oh, that's handy.
So that's part of
pretty cool.
like the spell list that I always have, which is really nice.
Very cool. Very cool. I kind of told you, me and you have kind of talked about this like outside of sessions. Probably not going to find a lot of portals here in the domains of dread. If there was a convenient portal to the material plane, I'm guessing there'd be a really long lineup beside it.
Yeah.
So you're probably not going to come into contact with very many portals that'll just, let you leave the domains of dread. But we'll get to all of that soon enough here. Soon enough, we'll get to the compromise that we kind of got to for that. Mm-hmm. But first, I think we have to settle the guy with 300 character sheets over there.
That's not the DM.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. The other guy with multiple character sheets. Adam, you got... I think basically what we decided here is, Stiletto and Lenara are both sorcerers, so like all your cool meta magic-y stuff. Everyone's got that, whatever you ended up picking there. Really what we got to do for you is determine where the new spell goes.
That's it.
Is this get learned by Lenara, or is it the kind of caged Stiletto watching from the background, leveling up?
Let's see.
Who gets her?
Even it goes to Lenara.
Very nice. I guess. Is that where you were hoping it went?
To be honest, no.
No.
Oh, well. Still
Stiletto's
works.
sort of like the Batman persona, right?
That's it.
I'm Batman.
Curious to know if you're hoping to wake up as Lenora or Stiletto.
I'm roleplay wise Stiletto, not dying wise Lenara.
Fair enough. Well, yeah, you're all level 3. But before, it was just kind of a good stopping point last episode. Before we kind of fast forward to morning, or rather before we fast forward to me rolling random encounter dice to see if you make it to morning, we left off with Van Richten giving you a bit of a story, I guess, right? We got a few stories last time. We learned from Tess that dying here has very serious repercussions.
Yeah.
Whether or not you're resurrected sounds like it doesn't matter too much. It's still you die here, and it's not a good thing.
You die in the domains, you die in real life.
It's rough. And found out a little bit. What do you guys remember about the Van Richten dream?
That was weird.
Wandering through the mists, we have shadowy friends that meant him harm, moves deeper, found his childhood home in Darkon, found that his wife and his son were there inside the manor. He gets to the door, tries to get in, can't. He's met by himself, and he finds out he's probably a Dark Lord, maybe, kind of, sort of. That's kind of what's implied. I don't know.
Maybe kind of, sort of.
He had a beastly appearance.
Yeah, bestial appearance, yes.
Oh, wait.
His furniture was all dancing.
lycanthropy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are mechanics for it, yeah.
Ooh, interesting
All
implication.
we know is that his son was killed by a werewolf.
Interesting.
What?
Or vampire. Shit, never mind.
I think
Vampire.
we're
It was very
digging
much
a bit
vampire.
too.
Erasmus? Very much killed by a vampire.
Yeah.
Vampire.
I'm not sure. I think the beastly form.
Oh, maybe so.
Oh, shit,
yeah.
did he kill his own son?
I don't think I've said the word werewolf this campaign yet.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Werewolf.
No. Well, there goes my brainstorming for the week.
Yeah.
Good job, Colin.
I did it.
Swimming towards you. Now you see a bunch of werewolves.
But with both, with all that being said, what's going on?
Is he still up?
He is, but feverish, sweaty, and he's already almost kind of begging to lie back down. But he's still up.
Oh, well then, Tess is going to just look to everyone else and just immediately take all of the blankets from the other cot and just bring them over to Van Richten's and say, "Could one of you help me with him?" And I'm going to start lowering him back onto his bed and start trying to make him comfortable.
Sure.
And I'll just be whispering into his ear, It's okay. We're all here. It was just a dream. None of that was real. None of that was real." And then she's looking nervously at everyone else. I was like, I hope none of that was real.
Let's hope not.
All
We
right.
just came from an asylum. Perhaps it's a personal reflection.
You
I
don't
mean-
think that's what he was sent to have implanted in his mind? It's okay. It's okay. And I'll just leave to soak like a rag in some seawater and try to put it over his victim Fenriton's forehead.
You know, dab his forehead. He falls back asleep once he's all nice and bundled up by blankets.
Salash turns to Lenara and asks, do you suppose that these screams were not ones of fear, but ones of loss? Is this anguish, or is this something else?
To be perfectly honest, he showed more emotion in those moments than probably all of the months training me. I'm not sure how to react to him bursting out like that, and I take it quite seriously that he would react as such.
But he said his home was in Darkon. That doesn't... He was living in Waterdeep when you knew him, yes?
Yes, but he travels. I do not know how many times he has been in and out of the domains of dread, perhaps other planes.
But if he was born here... and Tess just, like, puts a hand to the like, bruising on her neck and looks very, very worriedly at everyone. Then he might be bound to the mists, but he's able to leave. He's able to travel. You've said it yourself, he travels. So, that means he's not trapped here. Like I almost was. And she just takes a shuddering breath, and like puts, just reaches out to all of you and just puts her hand on the closest one and says, "Thank you. I know we all fear death here. I know we all fear this place. Maybe we do, maybe not one of us. But I thought that if I could at least keep everyone alive, I wouldn't have to burden you with this. If I had died here, I mean, of course, death is the end, but before Simon passed, he told me death is more than the end here in these domains. What do you think happens when you die? Lustra, what do you think happens?"
Cripes. I mean, when it comes to back home, I mean, if you happen to die, your soul gets judged and it goes to the appropriate plane. I mean, I'm not that big into to religion and all that God stuff. I mean, usually, you know, you trade your body and well, at least Reno used to say with, what's her name? Joaquin, that's what it was. You know, you happen to trade your body and life, and with that, your soul happens to be judged by her, and based on the worth and trades that you did throughout life, it goes in accordance to how well you get treated in the afterlife. Like, it's very much about it's a giant trade of sorts, I guess. Didn't talk about it much. It's the closest thing I would have to an idea of afterlife, I guess. I kind of don't think about that stuff very much, but that would be the closest thing that I could think of, at least.
Back home, we all believe that when you shed this mortal coil, you will be with your ancestors and those who touched your spirit. There is a connection there that is created by everyone whose life you touch. The domains of dread sever all of those connections. As far as I was able to be told, the mists, if your soul is lost here, then it becomes one with them. You will never reach any of them again.
That's really bad. Yeah.
She thinks back to her last few memories, and like Lenara and Merlin just jamming their fingers into her neck wound to save her. And she sort of like puts her hands on each of you and says, "Words cannot express what I feel right now. But I want us to get out of here. I don't want to rule this place." I look at Slash hard. "And I don't know what that scab has told you, but there is nothing good that comes out of this. Every moment we stay here is another moment we dance with oblivion."
Merlin kind of has a tight grip on his new rusty dagger. "Well, that certainly makes two of us, Tess. I don't want to be here any longer. No more chances, no more risks. We just need to go. We need to leave as fast as we can." And he takes a look over at Rickton, who's probably sound asleep. "Even if it means leaving him where he belongs." And Merlin kind of marches off. And the last thing you hear is, "I'm getting my damn inheritance, okay?"
Just waiting for it. Just sitting here, I've been wondering for the last few minutes, what's our angsty college boy Merlin gonna say?
Do these mists have a mailing address?
It's the first thing I thought of when you were like, "It severs everything, even legally binding contracts."
I really enjoy Merlin's like college boy perspective. It's just, I love it. But that,
Do you guys have student loans?
some deep stuff though, some deep stuff. And as harsh as it might be to hear, Merlin does bring up a really good point. You know, Van Richten means a lot to some people in this party, but is he really worth risking everything for it, for everybody here, to all five of you?
That wasn't in Mr. Tattoo's accent.
Mr. Tattoo.
Oh, man.
Deep stuff. How does Lenore react to that?
She bites her lip as Merlin says that, but she, listening to what Tess said, she has very few connections and strings, certainly no legal ones too, for money. The only real string she has is right there in that bed. And if, while Van Richten might mean nothing to anybody else, she goes where he goes.
Very nice. That is, that's deep stuff. You have inspiration, Colin?
Yeah, for slashing my own throat.
That's right. You want to give it to someone else at the table and I'll give you a new one?
Yeah. I think if he doesn't get his inheritance, he should at least get his inspiration.
I like that. I'll take it.
There you go.
A good trade. Good trade. Well, with that tone kind of having been set for the rest of the night, you guys keep kind of switching out watches, keep trying to steer this boat. Everyone taking their turn at the steering oar, keeping this boat on course. And I already rolled, and you are not interrupted throughout the night.
Oh, thank God.
The next morning, most of you wake up. Lenara or Adam, I guess. Let's find out. if we're still Lenara or are we switching to Stiletto? Now, give even is, how's it work?
Lenara is even, Stiletto is odd.
And who are you kind of hoping for? If you could make the choice, who would it be?
Oh, after that, Stiletto.
You want Stiletto.
Not today, though. Not today.
Still Lenara?
Still Lenara.
Oh, very interesting. Very interesting. You wake up as Lenara. Everyone wakes up as a level 3. I guess the level 3 probably technically kind of kicks in right now.
Yeah.
Ooh.
The only person who wakes up a little differently, I guess, is Lustra. Lustra, you definitely wake up a little differently than anybody else this morning. You kind of hear everybody else waking up around you, but your vision is blocked by this bright light that's right in front of your face. It's kind of like somebody waking you up with a flashlight. But then that light starts to fade, and you realize that it was coming from just one single bead on your rosary. It only lasts a moment, and then this light fades away to nothing, like it was never there. What do you do?
Oh, cripes. What the... I guess I would get the rosary into my hand and closely inspect it and look it over and make sure that nothing's different, or did I lose a bead, or did I gain a bead, or make sure that everything is still in working order. Just
Give me investigation.
that is a 9.
Yeah, I mean, you don't really notice anything different. It's the same rosary that you've always worn. All the beads are there. It's just that one bead was shining brightly. It's to the point, it's what woke you up, right? It's like someone flashing a flashlight in your eyes in the morning. That's what woke you up.
So I'll look at the bead and I'll look around. Is there any, probably people all around me, all of us are pretty crammed here. Did anyone else get a bright light from my rosary by chance?
The answer is no to all you guys. Roleplay that as you will, but no one else saw. No, only him.
No, the sun is rising. Maybe something reflected it through a window?
Maybe. Guess I'm assuming the sun is up, right?
Yep, this one is, yep, sure.
Could be, I guess.
Yeah, well, what...
I don't know, my rosary just got really, really bright for a second and actually woke me up. Maybe it was just the light. I'm going to walk out to the deck and get outside and get some air and just look at it a bit better, maybe in actual light. And
Sure thing. After you kind of, once you say all that out loud and everyone else denies having seen anything at all, it doesn't take very long before Erasmus Van Richten shows up. And he shows up excited. He has a very, very happy look on his face. And he hovers right over to Lustra, like he is up in your face. And he immediately starts to write in the air.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And you can almost see like the childlike joy in his face. He almost forgets himself for a minute. And the first words he writes is, "You saw a light?" ? And that's kind of your first, I guess, tell that he's so excited. I mean, it's obvious you saw a light. You just said it out loud. And yet he forgets himself and writes it anyway.
I nod back. Yeah, I saw a light. What? How did you come? What? Did you come out of my rosary?
Are you haunting me?
He shakes his head and then refocuses on what's happening and starts writing very quickly in the air. And he writes, "I've met your dad. He could see me like you guys can see me. Your dad is a mist traveler, maybe the best I've ever met, just like me and my dad." But your dad was different. His eyes could see mist talismans. I think your eyes might too.
What?
And he's almost like he's spinning. He's hovering in the air, spinning in excitement. And he writes, mist talismans are non-magic items that can help guide you to the domain of dread that the item originates from. Because your dad had lots of mist talismans, but his rosary was a talisman to Darkon. And
What?
as he's like kind of filling in, writing the last few letters of the word Darkon, he starts to disappear. But he gives you this kind of parting look of just excitement, this look of almost like, we'll talk again tomorrow. But for the first time, you see like legitimate hope in Erasmus Van Richten's ghostly eyes. He is beaming as he's looking at your rosary.
Okay.
Whoa.
Oh, hell yeah. And that's your father's rosary. Is it?
No, this one's mine.
Oh.
I guess it's time for a bit of another lore dump. Mistwalker. Okay.
Mist Traveler, he called
Mist
it.
Traveler. So I take the rosary out. Is in my hand. Okay, so I figure we're all Venari here. So normally I'm not supposed to even talk about this, but
Oh, sorry, 1 second. Merlin! And I, kick him.
Merlin's awake now. Yeah.
But, okay, look. So, while the Venari is a bloodline, the Venari is part of a clan. And this is the clan sigil and the little coin that's kind of dangling from the rosary. And basically, Clan Ostium is the name. So, back in days of yore, long generations ago, Dragonborns weren't originally from kind of a Faerun thing. They were actually transplanted here due to some kind of calamity. I don't know, lost to time. And in my clan's history, it's known as the Great Uprooting. And the idea it was that we would travel between realms to make sure and seek out that no great uprooting would ever happen again. Like, that was worse than death. The thing is that for me, part of me becoming, someone who can continue their bloodline is to offer something to help strengthen the bonds between realms to make sure that something doesn't happen again. And things went awry, and, Rena is gone, and so is my father, and I have to fix that first, but that's corollary to the point that, obviously, when it came to my father and finding something to make sure that it doesn't happen again, he became apparently this is even news to me, I didn't know he was this adept at traveling through planes, traveling through all of this.
When they were taken, were they looking for one of these disturbances?
No, it just the mist came out of nowhere. My father clearly knew what the hell it was. I didn't know what it was. Rena didn't know what it was. She tried to get him out of the way, but the mists took both of them. My father pushed me out of the way so that the mists wouldn't take me, but there was this sense of familiarity, surrender, like he knew what was going on. He never told me any of this. So Erasmus just, it's news to me as well.
Tess sort of looks around. Well, I mean, can you blame him?
Yeah. All I know is that this is what my clan was meant for. This is what I'm meant to do, is to just get us the hell back. Right? And I don't know everything about it, but I just know that there's an overarching idea of there are different realms and we got to make sure that they don't mix. Things are mixing here in the domains of dread, and I feel like now that I'm here, I got to stop it and get my dad and Rena back. So,
your father, he didn't have any you never saw him with them, but the token that his rosary would take him to Darkon. So if we get there, we'll find him.
Yeah, from what I can... Geez, yeah, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of a lot to take in. It's like, I don't know. Like I'm supposed to like find this on my own for the most part, and usually I would have him with me, and to not have him tell me that is, I don't know. I guess there's a bit of shame to that, but I'm just surprised that I'm hearing about all this stuff that's not from family, I guess. So there's my pride is a bit hurt, but I'm glad that we have this important information.
Don't feel so bad. Perhaps he meant to tell you and you just didn't have the chance.
I guess. All I'm saying is that, I guess I can kind of relate to how you see Van Richten now. That's kind of what I'm sort of feeling now, hearing this from Erasmus. So instead of my own father. Point is, it's good news. So apparently I'm pretty good at this kind of shit. I'm built for this shit. So hopefully we can find these mist tokens and go forward. Hopefully if I can figure out how it works. Obviously I'm doing something right and attuning to this right, I guess. But we'll just have to travel around and see if I can get my eyes on these mist tokens, because I think that's probably the first thing we should do.
Mist talismans.
Tokens, talismans,
and
whatever, God.
Calm down over there. Calm yourself.
Don't worry,
I'm sure
I love
you've
you.
put two and I know.
Yeah.
I know. I'm sure you've put two and two together though. And so basically, like I was saying in the beginning, the way that Horizon Walker works, you should be able to see portals.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's once a day, or it's a resource like anything else. But you can use that resource to see portals. And I didn't want you to not go Horizon Walker if that's what you wanted to play, but I also can't just put portals to the material plane in the Domains of Dread, unfortunately.
Of course.
So this is kind of the compromise we came to, is that Lustre Venari, while he might not be able to see portals, he can see mist talismans. So that's good.
That's awesome.
That
That's
is
really
very,
fucking
very
cool.
good.
That's a
But
really fun
it's
gimmick, too.
yeah, it's kind of cool. It's a non-magical item, so it's very difficult to determine what is a mist talisman. You cast detect magic right next to Lustre, and this necklace did not pop.
It's great.
Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. I love that.
It's not magic. I don't like it.
Maybe Erasmus will have more to say tomorrow if we get there. But yeah, I thought that'd be kind of a cool little... It's a good compromise.
Yeah.
Good compromise.
Oh, man, that's so cool.
Some good news.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Some good news for a change. Merlin, you thirsty?
Yeah. Merlin feels like a dry sponge. Where's that booze?
Yeah, it's a brand new day. And like I said, I've already rolled for encounters, so I know when it's time to stop. I rolled this entire day already, so I know when it's time. But for you guys, just assume everything's going to go great.
Because it is.
And let's kind of talk about your booze situation. Are you taking, we've got 13 doses, shots, whatever you want
13
to.
portions.
13 portions, thank you. That's probably the best way to describe it.
I like
Dose
doses.
makes it feel, I don't know, man.
I like
it makes,
doses.
He
Because I'm
needs his
sick
morning
and I need
medicine.
Doses it is. We'll keep it there. But you got 13 of them. Mechanically, kind of how this works is you can drink all 13 if you want, but I kind of need at least one to go away, or we roll. I think the actual mechanic says, drinking booze keeps me sane, something along those lines.
That's it.
So basically, if you don't take at least one off here, we're rolling on like madness tables.
Yeah, I think we'll start off with a single, just a one dose.
Sure, yeah, that's enough to get you through.
Wet your beak.
Yeah.
Wet your beak and fight off the insanity. All right, yeah, that works for me. Bring that 13 down to a 12.
Now, with our night's sleep, we weren't in an asylum. Mm-hmm. Are we less stressed?
I knew. This is the next thing on my bullet list. Is like, it was about the time we're at the last meeting about stress.
I got that peppered in.
I think I'm just spitballing, but maybe the day before the long rest has to not involve most of us going unconscious multiple times.
That's what I was saying.
Slicing open my own neck.
Right. So unfortunately, stress itself doesn't go away until you do nothing for a day and then get a long rest.
I figured I was saying that pre-sesh.
If nothing happens today or tonight, then tomorrow morning you would wake up with one less point of stress.
Can we see that list you have real quick, man?
Oh, man. Oh, man. So what did we say? 12, you took one shot. Did you guys ever... We got cut off by who knows. There's always so much going on, it seems. Did you guys ever make more booze grenades? I mean, at some point we were talking about it, and I think we kind of got lost in
I don't think
Tesco
we
strangled or something.
No, we were considering it because we have the mason jars that all the arms were in.
Oh, that's right.
And
yeah,
we were
you've got
considering
that.
it, but I don't think we actually ever followed through with it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it would be a good time, right? Yeah. I think it's worth it. Don't take too much, but you know.
I'm gonna make at least one. Still have a potion bottle left, so
Okay.
Okay.
Anyone else making booze grenades or any other housekeeping you guys need to take care of before I murder you? I'm just kidding, or maybe I'm not. We'll find out soon enough.
Got any more necklaces in there?
It's a good choice to throw that thing to the bottom of the ocean, I think.
Yeah.
Sucks for that poor little turtle or whatever we said.
it's a dolphin that can't open its bottlenose.
Jeez.
Oh.
Oh, boy.
Watch it be one of those little, like, pills that you put in water and it turns into a giant dinosaur, so we just unleashed a 1,000-year curse.
Oh, we shrinky-dinked it?
Yeah.
Well, the crossbow bolt that got fired into my shoulder back when we were on the elevator, I'm going to take the crossbow bolt shaft and I'm going to start whittling that into another bead for my rosary.
Oh, interesting.
Huh.
Oh, I was wondering why you took that thing.
Yeah. Just
Clever girl.
I remember
Start
you
using
saying
that. Yeah.
because you specifically said you were keeping that, and I was just back in my mind. It's like, I wonder why. Now we know.
Now
Just
it's
carving a new bead. I
Maybe
like
it could be an anchor to Dominia if we ever have to come back.
Oh, very, very interesting. Very interesting.
Especially now that I have this lore bomb dropped on me from Erasmus. Hey, I might be good at this. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe this is all that we need.
I mean, on that note, have you tried making it glow again?
I mean, it kind of glowed on its own when I was asleep, but I mean, I'm not sure how well it would work, but let's give it a shot. So yeah, I'll use that whole detect portal or detect mist talisman, which it would work within 1 mile of you.
Serious chunk of distance there. Mm-hmm. It's a nice little ability.
Mm-hmm. I can only use it once per long rest, though.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. This is. I feel like first time. It's. I feel like it's pretty appropriate for him to be kind of messing around, figuring out how this works.
Testing the waters.
And sure enough, you focus, and the bead lights up for you and nobody else. But that bead, the one single bead on your rosary, lights up as bright as the sun for a few moments, and fades away like nothing happened.
Tess puts her hand on your shoulder and pats it. It's okay. You can keep trying. Maybe it'll work next time.
You didn't see that.
Yes, I did. Like, she just nods at everyone, just like trying to get them to nod as well.
Salash looks over to Lustra. You've not become delusional, have you?
No, I literally focused and it glowed.
That's such a good point. It'd be so believable that he's just gone crazy from this island. His hind froth's got him thinking his rosary glows. What a...
like literally this beat right here, I'm gonna thumb it. Like, this one glowed.
Do you know what it means?
That it's probably a mist talisman.
So how do we action that?
I don't know. I just know that it obviously must be, or not obviously, but from what I can gather, I don't know. I'm still learning on this. So, but this, I focused, like you said, Tess, and then this started to glow, and this is what woke me up, and it was the same thing. So this must be important somehow. I'm not sure where it goes, where it leads, but it's definitely the mechanism that we need to help traverse the mists. I don't know where it'll go, but
it will take us somewhere that's not here.
Not here.
That's huge.
Speaking of, Slash is just going to take a quick inventory of what he's looking at. Are we in the mists, or is it just open water around us?
In open water still. In Dominia, open water. Yeah.
Nothing around. No.
At this point, like, you know, you've been on the water for like over 12 hours.
Yeah.
There's not even any land in sight. Nothing.
Okay.
There is a nice steady breeze that keeps carrying, keeps filling the sail and carrying you guys along. Pretty decent swell.
Weather seems fine.
It seems kind of, it's staying steady. There's still enough of a breeze that you don't have to row. Seems fine for as far as you can see as well. You see nothing, no land, nothing.
So this can probably take us somewhere. I don't know where exactly, but maybe it won't be random, or maybe if we go deep enough into the mists with this as a beacon to light the way.
Yes, and your father found the way home. I mean, obviously, you were there with him.
Yeah. So
maybe there's a bead somewhere that we can find that will be the one to take us out of these mists.
I don't know, would Lustra have any memory of his father talking about of maybe previous exploits, or maybe on how possibly any of this could work?
Unfortunately not.
Okay.
This is complete news to you. I mean, your best guess would, from your father's perspective, he's probably thinking like, would my son's life have been any better had I told him the domains of dread exist? How would that have made my son's life better?
Like, he cried for 3 hours after he heard about the bag man. Like, what do you think?
I'm gonna tell him, right? He's just gonna run away if I tell him about this stuff.
Well, no, I won't. I won't have shoes on me.
There you go. But I think that's probably your
rationale.
Your best assumption,
Is this a place that any of us would want to dwell on if we didn't have to?
Why? If he didn't, he was hoping I'm sure, like everyone else, he was hoping you'd never, ever come here. So he could, probably saving you from it, if anything.
Slash looks to Lustra and then back to the rest of the group. Lustra is not the only mist walker we have available. And he looks into the cabin to I'm sure, still sleeping soundly, Van Richten.
What do you have in mind?
What I always have in mind, Tess, it would simply to be gathering information.
I mean, maybe he can teach me how to use the rosary.
I thought you were going with the whole, we've got 2 of them now. Let's get rid of one. We don't need both these mist travelers.
Trimming the fat.
Trimming the fat. Nope. And with that, Slash is going to walk in, and first he's going to review and take inventory of how Van Richten is feeling. Is he still out cold? Is he up and at him? What's going on with?
He's very much not up and at him. No, he is. In the morning, the sheets, all those extra blankets you guys wrapped him up in, they're all soaked through. He's pale, clammy, and cold to the touch.
You know what? Slash is going to step back out, look to Tess. Tess, you seem to know your way around a body better than I. Could you perhaps check on Van Richten?
Oh, yeah.
Wait, what does that mean?
What? It can mean several
something
things.
about his meat being weak. There's medication for that.
Boy.
I mean, as Salash is like stepping out to request, Tess is already on his heels, because as far as she heard, she's like, Slash is like, oh, well, we have a source of information, then made a beeline for Van Richten. So she is immediately ushering you out of this little cabin. And she's like, Why don't you help Lustra with his rosary a little more? You're very you. She just like gestures at him. If there is, maybe you could take an inventory of what we have in the bag of holding. I could use some extra sheets to change. And she is going to just start stripping the sheets off of Van Richten. And she's going to try to find anything clean. He's going to start just wiping his brow, replacing everything, and she's going to just try to see if he's sleeping soundly still, or if it's like labored breathing. Is it just the stress, or is he actually falling from his wounds?
Yeah, give me a medicine check.
With stress, that is 16.
16 is enough. He is stable. He's not in immediate risk of dying, but he's feverish. It's a mix of a lot of things. He's super stressed. Clearly something's been done to his mind at the asylum. He has a fever. I mean, he's not immediate risk of dying, but he is very, very much bedridden.
Okay.
I think probably like the experience he just went through, I mean, that was rough on you guys. Most of you guys didn't have many resources left when that escape was all said and done with, and it was no different from him. He was already not really in a condition to do that, but he did it.
Oh, 100%.
And now his body is...
He's paying the price.
He's paying the price, yeah.
Tess is going to take off the remains of her uniform, her asylum uniform, place them over Van Richten as a sort of placeholder, and begin to take out all of the soaked sheets. And Will looked at everyone and says, just as much as the rest of us, he has been through... Well, you were there. But what he needs is rest. Only... Makes eye contact with everyone. Only rest. If we can keep him safe, I am sure he will be the man you once knew. Looking to Linara. But right now, if you think you can get anything out of him, you will have to go through me. And she touches the bandages on her neck. I am willing to do a lot to make that not happen. So...
Oh, I like it. That's great.
I do want to say, because I didn't want to interrupt anything. Linara's probably been helping you this whole time.
Maybe not the right name to drop there. Yeah. But yeah, no doubt. I love it.
Fair.
Very much love it. It's the whole wake this man up and I will fucking kill you right now.
So I imagine her at the door and Linara's just like doing like the yeah man for a rap video behind her. Yeah. So just like staring, like
firing rays of frost into the sky.
Exactly. Let's be real. You're both staring down Slash. Like you just
preach it, sister.
You gotta get past D's titties. Anyway.
All right.
Moving on.
So I guess we might as well hold out until Van Richten is well enough to start talking and maybe teach me how to use my rosary and see if we can get out of here. So we're just got to wait it out.
That would seem the most appropriate course of action.
I suppose. What do you think, Scab?
Who, me? Scabby, I don't know how I feel about that one.
I know exactly how I feel about it.
Mr. Tattoo, too, is a little... You know what? You're pretty good with words. Can't we think of a better name? Give them something better to call me. This Mr. Tattoo Scab. Come on. Use your words.
How about rat? I like rat.
I was talking to Slash. You shut up, you lemon head.
Merlin II.
Merlin II. Salash sort of, ponders for a moment, and he says, "You came to me once as a voice, so I think Golos would be possibly, well, Golos, Gol for short. I think that works out."
Is that some Yuan-Ti speak or what?
Yes, it is.
We'll call it one T. What is it actually, though?
What is it actually?
Is it Russian?
It's Russian for voice.
That's the Russian word for voice?
Yeah, Golos.
I really like that. That's cool.
It can also mean vote, which is also funny.
They don't do that there.
Usually it means voice.
Voice vote one way, you don't have one. It's fine.
Oh, let's not piss off Russia. I like that. That's pretty cool.
There you go.
And all, just full disclosure, Miles definitely texted me that one earlier in the week. So that's our way of kind of shoehorning it in there.
Yes.
I don't know
It
what you're
works.
talking about.
Yeah.
That was me trying to name him Scab.
It's a recurring problem in my campaigns. We get to an NPC, my players are like, "What's your name?" I'm like, "Oh shit." Did not consider that part.
I think a lot of DMs
Frank.
struggle with that.
His name is Frank.
Frank's the
Mr. Tattoo. That works.
All my effort went into the voice.
That's the truth. I think of the voice. I'm like, all right, I'm good.
What do I sound like?
Hey, look at me.
It's almost like that's how I came up with the name.
I think that's really cool, though.
Yes.
The word for what is it again?
Golos.
Golos. We're gonna call me Golos from now on. I like that, though. That's really take inspiration. I dig it. Woo-hoo. I dig it. That's a cool little name.
There you go.
Whatever you say, Galosh. Well, what does your little friend have to say about this new situation? Have you decided that we all deserve to live again?
Oh, you're still talking to me. Sorry. We're not used to this whole interacting with a whole bunch of people thing. It's my bad. Look, yeah, I'm on board here. Like I said, there was a misunderstanding. Yesterday, whenever it was, misunderstanding. My intents are to keep Slash alive. I want all of you to just pretend like I'm not here.
Well, that's understandable.
Keep out of the way.
Well, it would be nice to know who we're traveling with, though. So, where did you grow up? How did you meet Slash? That must be a fun story, right?
I didn't really grow up nowhere, so to speak. Oh, you think I have ill intentions here? Do you think I want to be here? Is that what you think? I used to be the words in a book. I was perfectly happy being the ink inside of a book. I thought one day maybe, I don't know, I'll retire, find a nice little inkwell or some shit like that. Now I'm with this guy. You think I want to be here? No.
It's not my fault that I intend to read books that are on
I'm
a
sorry,
shelf.
I'm stressed out. We're all stressed out. I'm sorry.
Wait, does Galosh have points of stress? That would make me so happy.
He's pretty stressed out. Yeah. I'm telling you the truth, we're stressed. I ain't thinking straight. I was perfectly fucking happy being ink in a book. Now I'm a fucking tattoo.
What type of book?
What do you mean, what type of book?
Spell book? Cookbook?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a reasonable question. I'm sorry for blowing up. We're really stressed
you're
out.
very stressed. Yes.
It was, book.
Cursed tome. Book. Excellent.
Kids' children's stories.
Oh,
A collection of
Yeah.
tall tales.
M is for meat. Got you.
That
Excellent.
was the one.
Yep.
M is for meat.
I think I read that to kindergartners
Do
once.
I believe him?
Make an
He said,
insight
picking
check.
up dice. 18.
You believe the vast majority of what he's saying. He does seem pretty sincere in everything he said, but you do get the impression that he is holding something back about the origins of the book that he once was.
Fair.
That he's not being fully honest there. He was a book. That he is not lying about. The book was not called M is for Meat.
Should have been. Then Tess will flutter her eyes and look at Slash and say, well, that sounds like an amazing story that I think all of us would love to hear.
Slash nervously sort of, shuffles uncomfortably. And then a twisted kind of grin comes across his face. Is this what nervousness feels like?
I don't like it.
I have to agree.
Sorry, I'll go back to mine. Sorry. I said I'd be quiet. Really stressed out, bro.
Yes, I understand.
Oh, I'm so happy.
Look, getting at each other's throats isn't going to do much right now. I mean, I understand.
All right, you stop right now, Lustra.
Did a lot last night.
Every time we have talked to Slash about anything, you have blown smoke and run interference. So I don't know what that little inkwell promised you, but we are going to hear from Slash right now. All right?
Okay.
Slash shuffles uncomfortably for a moment. As with anything that I've been seeking to understand, it has been seeking to understand more about, perhaps some might call it my soul, my human side, how those things come together. And in doing so, one must understand where they come from. And what better place to look through history than through books? Yes, Galos is extremely truthful in understanding that he comes from a book of Uwanti heritage, and understanding where I came about. However, it was perhaps not very fortuitous the place that I was in when I found this book. This library I was in wasn't exactly, how do we say, allowed to be entered. It was filled with all kinds of forbidden knowledge that people like me weren't supposed to be examining according to our religious leaders.
A patriarchy, no doubt.
Something to that effect, perhaps.
A small smile appears on Tess's lips.
However, seeking better understanding of myself, I entered this forbidden library and came across this tome of our heritage, and upon opening its pages, the ink simply leapt from its pages across my arm and settled on my chest. Now, Galos was very forthcoming in understanding more about what I wanted to know, knowing more about my history, my heritage, and to this day he seems to have a similar agenda to I, at least when it comes to understanding more about my soul and its almost duplicitous nature. It's something that's telling when it feels like I'm part human and part Wanti, but there's something else that's part me and part him. It's something else I'm still trying to learn as well. If you want to know, the book was an okay read.
3.8.
A little wordy in some sections.
5 out of 10.
I'll get the audiobook
I really
next
wouldn't
time.
recommend it.
Has it been worth all of this trouble? It's hard to say. But he has certainly become useful in more ways than one.
Is it symbiotic or parasitic?
Symbiotic.
Galas? Mr. Tattoo? Same answer?
Yeah, of course.
Here's my insight check.
What'd you get?
I got an 8.
Yeah, he does seem sincere though. Most of Tess seems to be believing most of what Galos, is it Galos or Galos?
Galos.
Tess seems to be believing most of what Galos has said. Is he sincere about that? Who knows? But you do remember him saying in the past that he dies, I die, I die, he dies. So it does sound, if he was telling the truth about that, it sounds pretty symbiotic.
Do you think the Gundarak Dictionary is cute? I could put a good word in for you.
What about that intelligence tome?
Yeah, it's
Of clear thought.
Not really my style of calligraphy, but whatever. Any port in a storm, you know.
Stop being charming with your NPCs, Justin. I want to hate him.
Wait, would a library be a brothel for him?
Oh man, oh you default.
Oh God, Slash stole him from the brothel.
You are a monster.
Tattoo starts to shimmer very just all over the place. Did you say library? Oh. Do not get me started.
We're going to the club. The book club.
Book club.
Oh, man. Episode name right there. We're going to the book club.
This is the best revelation of all the entire campaign.
So, Merlin, I mean, I'm sure your father didn't get you any weird creatures that live on you. You seem to be very family-oriented. Is that who taught you swordsmanship?
No, actually. I learned swordsmanship on my time in Chult. Yeah.
Did your family send you to Chult?
Yeah, right before my 18th birthday.
Insight check.
Sure.
15.
You believe every goddamn word.
Hell yeah.
Me too. He does seem to be telling the truth. Yeah.
Are you go on about your inheritance, among other things, and do you feel they were trying to get rid of you? Or was it a task for you to prove yourself?
If you ask me, I think my brother was talking a little bit in my dad's ear, trying to get me out of the house and out of that will. Yeah, my dad says otherwise. He says he wants me to, get some responsibility, prove myself to the family, make sure I can handle all the cash coming my way.
Now, you talk about the will. Is your father ill, or do you fear for his life?
He's just old. He's just really old. Yeah, I fear he doesn't have much time left, which is why we need to get the hell out of here. So I can go back to, well, I don't know where exactly, but go get a job.
It would seem that might makes right rather than the rule of law, in your opinion.
That sounds like a riddle, and I don't know the answer.
Our smartest character, everybody.
Hey, Slash has got 14 intelligence.
Oh, never mind.
Oh shit, if Merlin reads the tome, he'll be the smartest. He'll outsmart Slash. I need this.
And let Galos miss out on the brothel and miss out, hitting it up with that, tome.
Apparently it's not sexy enough.
All right.
That's what drives you. Money, booze, food.
Money, booze, food, and I learned how to fight from fighting homeless people.
Quite carnal. Excellent.
And you seem to have a supernatural hatred for your brother.
Well, like I said, I think he got me kicked out of the house. I think he wants all the money for himself. So I really need to show him up here. Not here specifically. I'd rather not be right here, but
It's good to know. We'll save the boat.
I need to show him. I need to show him I'm more responsible and, all that stuff. You know what I mean,
Yes.
right? Right?
Yes. Just need to prove yourself.
It's gotta look good for the family. I just haven't done it so far.
Poor Merlin.
Honestly, I think you're on the right path, as blood-stained and horrible as it is.
Yeah, you think so?
A swath of decapitated enemies is nothing more than a way to demonstrate your prowess, yes.
Unless your sword kept accidentally falling into their necks.
Well, that happened once only, right? For real, on accident.
That was an axe in your gut, but yes.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, is that what you want me to tell my dad? I come home from this and I tell him, hey, I killed a bunch of people. Give me my money now.
You're a capable warrior and adventurer.
I would not be alive if it wasn't for you.
That is not a stable income.
Saving your ass ain't gonna pay my rent.
Could not have said it better myself. Thank you, God.
Doctors make a lot of money. Perhaps you can work in whatever ward needs,
Yes.
basically the impalement ward.
Anti-suffocation specialist at your service.
Salash is once again almost curious and interested in Merlin's current disposition. And would you say you're nervous right now, Merlin? Or just frustrated?
The latter. I think I'm more frustrated than anything else.
And Salash sort of nods and goes to a book to write it down.
Lenara whispers in Salash's ear, it's probably just generalized anxiety.
Hey, just put a few more loops in those G's, Slash. You know what? You know.
Oh, that's nice. Make sure to dot all them lowercase J's.
You like the tittles, do you?
What language is this?
Oh man.
We went from serial puns to like literary puns, not even like writing puns.
I don't even know what to define. What's
Oh my
This
God.
literature is
define
making my
this.
heart go doki doki.
You all get some pretty nice backstory from a bunch of people. This boat ride has been very revealing so far. The rest of your day goes on with no issues. No issues whatsoever. At all points, the wind is blowing and carrying your ship along. All throughout the night, you keep your hand on that steering oar, you take your watch rotation, and right before we hit midnight, we got to roll a D100. I almost forgot. That was close. I almost forgot.
Shit, we
Almost
forgot to tie the
Slash
bag double
D100.
tight.
I feel like Lustra has to roll this.
Tie the bag double tight, or else the bagman comes at night.
Oh man, if I roll for him, like
There, who
there's
rolls?
something
Yeah, go for it.
there's something poetic about
Call
it.
a fumble, baby.
That's 50 on the nose.
50 on the nose. The evening goes by with no issues. You guys wake up the next day, all of you with one less point of stress.
Oh, baby.
Oh my god.
One less point of stress.
Who doesn't get that point of stress? Or who gets
has
that?
one less point of
Who
stress?
has one less point of stress? I
Whoever you
wonder.
are right now.
Whoever I am right now?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yep. Whoever went through that evening unarmed. Lenara loses a point of stress. The morning shows up. And it's like he almost couldn't wait for it to happen. Erasmus shows back up like the second that the sun rises. Mm-hmm. You get almost the impression that he's kind of been listening in, like it feels like he knows about the conversations you guys have had. And he shows up again, beaming, huge smile on his face, and immediately starts to write more. I think your rosary is your dad's rosary. If it is, then it's a mist talisman to Darkon. And he looks almost like bothered a little bit and keeps writing. He says, I've wondered why Heinfroth let us get this far. But this is why. He doesn't think you have a talisman. He's confident you can't leave Dominia. And he kind of points to your rosary. He says, we have an advantage he doesn't know about. When you get to the mists, It'll be bad at first. Really bad. And already his body starts to disappear, and he just starts to pick up the pace of his writing in case this is the last time he'll be able to write to you before you hit the mists. Because it'll be really bad. You'll want to turn around. But you have to keep going no matter what. And the word have is like, capitalized, underline. You have to keep going no matter what. Once you're inside, stay close together. Keep your talisman close and fill your mind with thoughts of Darkon. You have to concentrate on that word. And then there's no more time for him to write. He disappears. His 2 minutes are up, but he shows up in the morning very confident, very excited that you have a mist talisman on your rosary, which you've kind of been able to confirm. Mm-hmm. He also, his suspicion is that this is why Heinfroth seemingly doesn't care. I mean, think even back to like when you guys were on the Mercy and Captain Baker locked you all in coffins for the rest of the ride. You offered to give up your weapons. He was like, whatever, keep them. At no point did they let you keep all your stuff the entire time. At no point did it seem like they cared about you leaving almost. And Erasmus thinks that that's why. Heinfroth legitimately doesn't think you can leave Dominia. He doesn't know you have a mist talisman, and without one, he's like, they'll never fucking make it. They'll never make it through the mist without a talisman. It won't happen.
The ant's in his ant farm.
Exactly.
As far as he
So from his perspective, this is all just a giant experiment almost. It's like, I wonder how they'll react. Even on the boat, like, let them keep their weapons. Who cares? Let's see what they do. Let's see what's wrong with their heads.
We will extract the most medicine out of their hope.
There you go.
Or something.
So that's Erasmus's suspicion, I suppose.
That's really cool.
Is that's why you've gotten this far. Heinfroth legitimately does not believe you can leave. But with a mist talisman, you have a pretty
solid
gosh darn good chance.
Cool.
Well, I'm glad Looster didn't die.
I'd say, holy
Loot the corpse.
The last thing that kind of happens today, as you guys are sailing on throughout the morning, after Erasmus kind of disappears, he gives you this new information, writing as quick as he can, because he really doesn't know if he'll have time to see you again before you hit them mists up. Mm-hmm. Last thing you see, though, or we'll leave you with, is a seagull, a single seagull. And it lands on the railing of this Viking-style ship you're all sailing on. One single seagull.
Kill it.
And got some bad news for you guys. This seagull kind of hops around on the rail. Maybe hops towards Tess. Turns out...
Hello, little fellow.
it responds. Turns out Van Richten didn't tell you everything there is to know about cerebral vampires. Weird thing about them, they don't turn into bats, they turn into seagulls. And this one replies by transforming into a very adolescent Colin. The one-word response, just food. And when he transforms, you see it's going to be bad. His teeth, he's showing his teeth. He's wearing a trilby. You've learned that cerebral vampires are not allowed to feed unless Heinfroth says so. But adolescent Colin, he's a bad boy. He's got a trilby. He does whatever the fuck he wants. And we'll see you guys next week, I think.
Oh, man.
Oh, he's gonna milady us.
Oh, God.
Does Justin just want Colin blood in any form?